My name is Gloria Iatridis. I am an Inuvialuk. I was born and raised in a community of Tuktoyaktuk in the Western Arctic, and I'm a member of the Inuvialuit settlement region.
Hi, I'm Olivia Kate Iatridis. I'm her daughter and the co-author of book A Strong Start for Your Child Actor, and I'm also Inuvialuit, member of the Inuvialuit settlement region.
Before we actually talk about the book, I do want to say, because a lot of people don't know where Tuktoyaktuk is, it's actually way up in the Arctic in Canada. And I have a little pamphlet here. It says, "Welcome to Tuktoyaktuk." One of the things it's known for is the pingos. If you go and look up pingos on the internet, you'll see that they're actually like little hills, and they're formed by melting permafrost. So it's an interesting fact about our home community. We love it a lot. Always like to try to promote it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a moment here to talk a little bit about, how we decided to write the book.
Like, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. She always wants to write books about everything. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to write a book. But the more we talked about it, the more it felt like it was something that we needed to do. It was like important to share our knowledge, and especially right now, the way the industry is, and a lot of things are coming to light about safety and all those good things. It felt like the right time, and people often asked us, how do you get into it? How do you get your child involved? And how did you become successful? And it's like, well, how much time do you have? Yeah. So it really felt necessary to just put it all in like a really easy to read, easy to consume, accessible, just little pocket guide even. I mean, you could bring it to set with you, and it's like your little on-the-go momager.
Twofold. It's a guidebook, and it's written in very plain language at a grade 7 level, because we wanted youth to be able to read it as well in the school system, and be able to have an opportunity to learn more about the film industry. But it's also a memoir, and it covers stories of actual events and experiences that we had while Olivia was pursuing her acting career. One question I wanted to ask was, for you, how did it feel to see your name together with mine on the cover of the book when it first came out?
I don't know what I expected when I opened the package. I got a package of about, 150 books at my apartment, and I was like, I don't know what to expect. And I opened it, and it was so weird seeing like 100 books. And I think I sent a video to you of me opening them, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a real book with our names on them. And I designed the cover, the art for the cover, so it was really cool to see my art like all over the books.
I was very excited. It took a couple years to write the book, and there's so many memories in there. I always tell everyone, those 5 years that I spent with Olivia while she worked and I was her manager were actually one of the best years of my life with my daughter, because she was a teenager, and she left home at 18. And how many teens want to hang out with their parents? And we explored. I learned alongside of Olivia, and it was so good to finally have a book that we could share with other parents that provides them with information that we wish we had when Olivia was working. So what was your favorite part of working together with me?
I have so many. How much time do we have? No, just kidding. I don't know. I feel like it reminded me of when I was a teenager and we were running around going from job to job, and after I had moved out, I kind of missed our momager daughter days, and it kind of brought that back, and I realized what a great duo we are. So I've been really enjoying speaking with you.
conferences and stuff.
That sounds good. I think I shared my favorite part is just having to be able to spend time with you. Before, you become an adult and go off on your own. I mean, you are now, but
Hardly. I don't feel like it.
Yeah, during that time.
I still need my mommy. That's what it is. Momager for life.
So, why do you think book is important for families and young actors right now?
Probably the most important thing, because you go to acting classes. I mean, this is just from my perspective as an actor. You go to acting classes and they'll teach you how to act, of course, but they don't teach you how to behave on set. They don't teach you how to keep yourself safe. There's really no one I've never experienced anyone who teaches those things, and there's not a lot of books about it, if any at all, other than this one. You have to do a lot to keep children safe, and it's worth it to do the work. And so I think people are really looking for resources right now to keep their kids safe while trying to support their passions at the same time. Sometimes that's like a double-edged sword. So,
if you could describe Booked in 3 words, what would they be?
You go first. You go first.
As a writer, is to make sure that the book is clear and concise. And I would say, that's a big piece of the book. It's easy to read, it's very clear, it's not complex. Young people can pick it up. I know that's way more than 3 words, but clear, concise, and interesting.
Yeah.
Before anything else, too, a lot of our stories in there will make you chuckle, because we have some crazy stories. I would also say that it's like full of passion. Like, truly, I've been passionate about acting for 10 years, and she's passionate about helping me with my things in my career, and I feel like you can really just tell the passion and the love we have for Booked, yeah. And the last one I would say it would be green.
Yeah.
Lots of green.
Yeah.
Our favorite color.
What are some of the biggest risks parents might overlook when entering the child acting world?
From like a child's perspective, at least when I was a child actor, I felt like the biggest thing that made a difference for me was that if I didn't want to do a project, or I felt uncomfortable with a role, or whatever it may be, I didn't want to do it for whatever reason, she wouldn't force me to do it, or she wouldn't encourage me to do something that I clearly didn't want to do. And I think that's a big mistake that parents make, and that's obviously something that has come out as well, that there have been a lot of poorly managed children, and I think that's the biggest one, is if your kid is wanting to do it, go for it, and if they don't, you have to respect their boundaries in that way.
Olivia always communicated with me on what she wanted to do, and there were times for sure where I thought that she had opportunity. There was one particular time where she actually received an invite to be in a role on a film, and it wasn't an area she was interested in. It was a zombie film.
I think it was a possession movie, actually.
Yeah. And I tried talking to her, and at the time she said nope. She was very clear on what she wanted, and I had some concern over turning down the director at the time, so I reached out to her coach, her acting coach, and I said, Olivia has this opportunity to be in this film and she doesn't want to do it, and I'm nervous about talking to the director. At the time, I think, I did a lot of the managing when she was younger, not so much her agents. And her acting coach actually provided really good advice and said, it's a small role, it's not gonna make her into a huge star or anything like that. It might give her some experience, but if she's not interested, it's no point in worrying about it. So what red flags should families look out for in auditions or on set?
difficult to say because every audition is going to be so different. Whether it's, I mean, a lot of them are self-tapes now, which is wonderful, and I think that's a great way to keep people safe. They don't have to be in a room with anyone unless they're actually booking the role and filming whatever the project is. But if you are doing an in-person audition, I think the most important thing to remember is that even if you're union, non-union, if your child is a minor, you need to never leave them alone with anybody. It is your right to be in the room with them during the audition, being in the room with them all the time. And I think that's the most important thing, is never leave your child alone with anyone, really, in the film industry. My mom used to come every single shoot, every single audition, and something I didn't enjoy was her being in the room during the audition or when we were filming. So she would go in the next room, or she would be in the car, somewhere that was really close and accessible to us, for me to give her a call if I needed her. And I never worried about my safety because she was always there.
Yeah. All it takes is one time. You let your guard down, something happens to your child, and it will affect them for the rest of their life. And so I was always around. I always asked the questions, even though I wasn't the agent. Sometimes I was in between agents, and as a manager and a momager, her safety was number one.